For more than 8 decades, Social Security has been the financial backbone for millions of Americans. And here's something you may not realize: between 80% to 90% of retirees say that they totally depend on their monthly Social Security check in some way just to cover those basic expenses. It's not a luxury, it's survival. But here's the twist: the age that you choose to claim your benefit, whether it's 62, 67, or 70, well, that can mean the difference between just scraping by or living with more breathing room in retirement. So today we're breaking down exactly how much the average check is at each age and the trade-offs that you'll face with each choice. So don't click away, because the data I'm about to show you, well, that could literally shape your financial future. So just before we take a deeper dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that affects your finances. And I promise you'll appreciate it. So buckle up and let's take a deeper plunge. So just so you're aware, first of all, Social Security isn't designed to make anyone rich. It was designed to keep seniors out of poverty. Without it, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, well, the poverty rate for older Americans would nearly quadruple, from just over 10% to almost 40%. So that's why claiming smartly is so very important. So the question is, how does the government calculate your benefit? Well, it comes down to four main factors. First, your work history. You need at least 35 years of work, and if you fall short, zeros are averaged in, which drags down your benefits. Number two, your earnings history. Well, the SSA looks at your highest 35 years of inflation-adjusted wages. The higher your lifetime earnings, the bigger your check. Full retirement age based on your birth year is when you qualify for 100% of your benefit. Now, for most people working today, that's 67 years old. Number three, claiming age. Now, this is where you've got the most control. Claim early at 62 and you'll take a permanent cut of between 25 to 30%. But if you wait until 70, well, you'll boost your monthly checks up by 8% per year beyond your full retirement age. And that's the mechanics. But let's talk about the real money. Now, here's what the data shows. At 62, roughly 600,000 retirees were receiving Social Security. Their average monthly check was $1,300. Now, on the surface, that helps. But remember, it's permanently reduced. And that's 30% less than what you would have received if you waited till full retirement age. And if you're still working, well, the earnings test, well, it may claw back part of your benefit. Now, at age 67, around 3 million retirees received an average check of $1,900. Now, this is a sweet spot for many. No penalties, no reductions, and you're receiving your full earned benefit. But by stopping here, well, you miss out on the growth that you get from waiting until age 70. Because at age 70, about 3 million retirees brought home an average benefit of $2,040. Now, that's a 57% increase compared to age 62. And the kicker is, once you hit 70, well, there's no further incentive to wait. You've maxed out your full benefit. Now, think about that gap for a minute. Over a 20-year retirement, the difference between claiming at 62 versus 70 could add up to more than 175,000 in extra income, assuming average life expectancy, of course. Now, that's not pocket change. But here's where it gets tricky. It's not just about the check amount, it's about longevity and health. See, if you don't live long enough, delaying it may not pay off. And if you do, well, patience is rewarded. So a 2019 study by United Income examined 20,000 retirees, and it found something very startling. Only 4% of retirees claimed at the optimal age for maximizing lifetime benefits. Even worse, the majority, 80%, filed early at ages 62 to 64. And for most of them, That decision costs them tens of thousands of dollars. Why? Because statistically, 57% of retirees would have been better off waiting until age 70. That's right, more than half. But sadly, very few did. Now, let's be clear, waiting until 70 isn't always realistic. If you have chronic health conditions, or you need the income to cover daily expenses, or you're worried about potential social security cuts, or taking benefits early might make sense. But here's what's most often overlooked. Even if Social Security is forced to cut benefits by 20 to 25% in the year 2033 due to funding shortfalls, or someone who delays until 70 would still likely end up with a bigger check than someone who filed early. And that's the power of compounding growth on delayed credits. Now, another factor to consider is spousal benefits. If you're married, the decision you make can also impact your spouse's survivor benefits. Waiting longer can increase what they receive if you pass away first, providing, of course, more security for your family. And then there's a tax angle. Did you know that Social Security benefits can be taxable? Up to 85% of your benefits may be taxed depending on your total income. So the timing of when you claim can also affect your tax strategy in retirement. So where does this all leave us? Well, here's the bottom line. Claiming at 62 gets your money faster, but it locks in the smallest check for life. Claiming at 67, well, that ensures you get 100% of your benefit, but you leave growth on the table. Claiming at 70 rewards patients with the largest check of all, but of course it's a gamble on longevity. So there's no universal answer. Your health, your savings, your family situation, and your financial goals, all of those matter. But the statistics make one thing clear. For a majority of Americans, waiting longer means more financial security. So now you know the average Social Security benefit is 62, 67, and 70, and more importantly, why those numbers matter for your retirement plan. So, which age are you considering retiring? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your strategy. And of course, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who's nearing retirement age. And don't forget to check out my future Social Security videos, including one that's about the loophole that could absolutely boost your benefits. So once more, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.